that parasocial relationships with people on the internet and digital only community is not demure. It's not cutesy. So if you haven't seen this video, the very demure, very cutesy, that started like that whole wave of content, I think it was like a year and a half ago. I don't even remember. But it's this creator named Jules. And they got on the internet in 2026 in America, in this economic and political and environmental state, and started a GoFundMe for $45,000 for a dental issue that could have been prevented. But I was extremely fascinated by parasocial relationships, specifically with influencers. I think it has gone to a new level of not only just parasocial relationships as, ooh, I want to be like that girl. I want to be like Emma. I want to be chill, cool aesthetic, coffee shop girl who like wears crazy colors. Like, it's gone further than that. People being so obsessed with these people as if they actually know them in real life, IRL, flesh to flesh. And that's a scary thought because we are living in a very anxious, lonely, depressed generation as Gen Zers. And so thinking you have relationships with people and caring so deeply and so intensely about people that you've never met and probably will never meet is a scary place. I see a lot of this coming up as well in the whole idea of community. And this goes back to the demure person as well. Because they had that money raised by asking people that they have never met and or never will meet to use their hard-earned cash that they earned working a 9-to-5, working retail, working at McDonald's to fund their health. And they're relying on you caring about them, your parasocial relationship to fix their real life problems. And I think it's spooky, to say the least. I feel like that's like very spooky to me. The community aspect, this whole word community, which is vital to being a human being, right? We rely on relationships with other people, with other humans to be sane. You can't go living your entire life alone without any community. What I'm seeing now, not only from these big influencers who are profiting off of people joining their Patreon, joining their community, buying their digital product, which by all means, get your bag. But I think as on the consumer side, we have to be so careful about balancing that with IRL community. That's one point. Second point is having community that is only beneficial to certain people, certain individuals. Like, I'm going to have this event so that you can post about me, but we're not actually like all becoming friends afterwards. We're here for today and like I'll post you on my story and that's it. There's a difference between bringing people together online for the purpose of actually building community, and then there's a self-fulfilling purpose. We have to really be careful of who we're surrounding ourselves with. The reason why I feel so strongly about this is because I moved to this city that I live in now on my own. I live in Cleveland. I moved here for college, stayed here after college, have built many communities over that time to the point, like, I don't have family here. So, like, my community, actually, not air quotes, actually my community is my life source here. Like, I don't have, my community is my family here. And what makes me feel connected and what makes me feel like I belong. That's why I'm chronically outside, because I love being in my community. I'm a people person. I'm an extrovert. And so having that community and having people is extremely important to me. Therefore, I feel like I get this visceral reaction when I see fabricated community or I see digital only communities forming. I know how much having real community, real people around me has benefited me more than I can ever imagine, especially coming from someone who was like too anxious to go outside their freshman year of college. The social anxiety runs deep with this one. So being able to pull myself out of that year after year, find people, go outside, meet people, introduce myself to people to the point now where it's like supernatural, not supernatural, one word, but like very natural for me to do and isn't as uncomfortable anymore is such a blessing. And I feel like the more we involve ourselves in digital only community, the more we invest in events, gatherings, things that are surface level, the longer it's going to take you to actually feel fulfilled by the people that are in your life. And if you're going to events just to get the story and get the bag, or get the story and get the recognition from other people's followers, go ahead and do that, queen. That is your tea. That is not my tea, and that's okay. We can agree to disagree. I've been like conflicted with this for a while, and please let me know if you've been seeing the same things go on in your city, because a lot of people will say that Cleveland is cliquey, and I have like a 50-50. Sorry to trigger anyone with 50-50. I'm 50-50 on that argument. I'm probably 60-40. 60%, I don't think it is as cliquey as people say, and 40%, it could be cliquey. Because I'm a certain type of individual who is not afraid anymore to go and try to be a part of a community, and then if I get rejected, like, it's cool. I still got a lot of people. I like to grow my legion of baddies, but at the same time, it's okay not to be friends with everyone. You don't have to be in everyone's friend group, girl. You really don't. You don't have to be in every pocket, in every niche of people in a city. And if you feel like those people are being cliquey, those probably just aren't your people. Because people are cliquey in general. That's everywhere. But in my experience, if you show up authentically and you have your antennas up for that fake stuff, it's not that hard to like find genuine community. In-person relationships, genuine connection to your neighborhood, your city, your community, IRL, is literally what makes us human, and is what is going to make us even more human in a time where people, I think, are disconnected, especially in America, because we aren't caring about our people don't care about their neighbors. And that's why they don't care about certain policies, or why they don't care to learn about certain policies. And that's why we're in the situation that we're in today. So I feel like this is such a bigger conversation because of that. If you are so obsessed with the internet and obsessed with people that you'll never meet, you're not going to care about your next door neighbor as much. You're not going to know their story, or the person who works at the grocery store. You're not going to know their story. And then if you don't know their story, you're only thinking of yourself and people online, and how can I hustle? How can I grind? How can I make the most money as I can? UGC this, influencer this, Patreon, Twitch, streaming, all of the things, versus, oh my gosh, that person who cleans the windows of my building might be affected by this thing going into place. Like, I'm going to vote against it. It is so much bigger than social media. And social media is huge. And I know I got a little deep there, but times are the way they are because a lot of us are staying up here on the surface level, on sea level, and we need to go get down into the coral reefs, babe. We need to get deeper. We need to scuba. We need to scuba down there, because if we don't have these deep conversations about things that actually matter and how that's manifesting in the surface level BS with influencer drama, all of it is a mirror of what is like really going on at large. And I think we really need to start actually thinking about that, because if you're not paying attention to that, you're probably a victim to it, and you're probably wasting a lot of your life on the internet versus in real life, connecting with people who you actually care about, who actually care about you and your well-being, and who are going to protect you and be there for you, and vice versa. Ooh, that was a lot. So maybe this week, go do something in real life that isn't work, gym, sleep. Like, go see Spider-Man with your friends. Go to an art gallery. Even if you go take a walk and you don't speak to anyone, literally just being around people is more human than like sitting on your phone. I've been taking more walks in the evening, and it like it's getting me more grounded, and I love that for me. I think that's part of the reason why working at coffee shops is such a slay, because you're around other people. It feels like you're all working together, even if you're not, even if you don't speak to anyone but the barista. Going and being in a communal third space versus just being in your apartment, in your cubicle, working remote like most people do now, it's super important to our humanity, especially if you're living in America. So that's all I have to say about that. Real life social interactions are demure. Building community in your real life is also demure. It's very cute, very demure-y. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching if you stayed this long. I don't know. Just thank you. Goodbye. Thank you. Good night.